Tim is one of these guys, and then we all have this friend that sends all the dirty porn emails, anything sexual, any sort of joke, derogatory to anybody, men, women, race stuff. And I got to thinking, if for some reason I had a folder in my computer where I'd saved all of Tim's emails, and my girlfriend saw that, would there be a problem?
Oh, yeah. 100%. I mean, I've said to my wife a million times, I go, hey, Tim, don't open that. Don't look at that. Tim sent that. That's not for human consumption.
Do you think that she would rethink the kind of person I am if I think this stuff is funny?
Well, that's why you can't let her see it, because it's always funny. I mean, I laugh at everything.
Right.
It's always funny. 100%. Because what he'll say is, like, someone will die and it'll be close to somebody and he'll just take a crack. I mean, it'll be hilarious, but it's so inappropriate. But it's always funny.
Well, do you think that most women think that, a lot of guys are like that, but my guy isn't? Or do they just think, look, I know guys have some dirty minds and they think stuff that isn't that funny. It's just guys being guys. Or do you think that they actually, the woman that loves you thinks that you're not that guy? When really you are that guy that's laughing at the same dumb shit you've been laughing at for 25 years.
I don't know the answer to that. I will say that I laugh at everything Tim sends.
So do I. And Tim, do not, he's saying he'll delete me on the page, on the chat. Do not delete me.
Yes, do not take Rob off the email. Yeah, no, you do what you gotta do. You have to remove anybody with you can't let a female see those emails.
Oh, I delete them. I delete them immediately.
Yeah, of course you do.
Not immediately. I reread them like 6 times.
I don't even think it's legal to have them on your computer.
It's not.
The stuff that he sends.
Well, doesn't he have a friend who's at like a military or like a government clearance, and he doesn't want Tim to send him anything? Say that guy's name, but yeah. All right. Tim's getting upset. Yeah, Robbie, you had an interesting date that involved lesbians and a Civil War battlefield. Explain.
We spent an extended weekend together, and 2 of the activities we did on Saturday was we took a walk at the Manassas battlefield, and then later on in the evening we had dinner with her lesbian friends.
Okay, hold on. There's no way it's your idea to go walk the Manassas battlefield.
It was not my idea.
Of course not. Why didn't you say, why don't we walk anywhere else? Does she love Civil War history? Is she a buff?
It has nothing to do with the history or anything else. It was primarily just that they have a nice trail there.
On the chat, people were asking to get on Tim's email list, which is funny.
Yeah, just put your email address in there. I guarantee you, he'll add you. Oh, Eric the Actor asked a great question. This is definitely going to get deleted out, but
yeah.
I do want to say real quick on the subject of the Manassas battlefield. What bothers me about Robbie is no matter what he does, he acts like it's perfectly normal. That's the thing. You took a girl, it's not romantic. A 200-year-old battle, where the weapons were so rudimentary that all they did was maim, and yanking people off of the battlefield, dragging them off with legs missing and so forth. And then you guys went out there to do some sort of nature hike. I don't know. If you think that's romantic, then it is.
Potentially, we could have an issue on the chat with a buddy of mine just added his email for Tim, and Tim, do not send the racist things to Tupac Shakur's email. Okay, just want to say that.
Which race? Because he includes all races all the time.
I mean, the one that president's race. Okay, but the batthield. Did you hold hands throughout the walking in the battlefield?
I guarantee you did.
Of course we did. Yes.
Yeah.
If there was no one around, and it's a nice, lovely day, and would you get a little friskier than holding hands?
There might have been some of that.
Did you make out in front of the grave of a Civil War veteran?
Absolutely not.
So out of respect, you wouldn't do that.
We weren't walking next to the monuments. We were just walking through the trail.
People still fought there, wherever you are. Blood was shed.
They didn't just pick a nice 100-foot spot where, you know what I mean? It was a battle.
No, you can't shoot someone there. It's against the rules.
Didn't you see Glory?
Yes, I did.
Did you make out during that?
All the cannons and the marked areas and the monuments and all that stuff. We did pass that stuff, but that was just the very beginning of the trip. Most of it was through the woods, along the trails, along the water.
Eric the actor is asking a lot of good questions. Were there kids around watching you?
There were kids around, yes.
Ugh.
If no one was around, would you have sex on like a bench in the battlefield?
There was entirely too many people walking around for that to happen.
So that's why you wouldn't do it?
We got a little frisky, and then a jogger came by abruptly.
Oh, my. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Rob used the word frisky first.
All right. Well, frisky is a good word. Well, let's get to Eric's question. Have you told her that you love her yet?
We are growing very close.
Wow. Will you let us know when that happens?
Well, no, he didn't say it didn't happen.
If she said to you, I love you, the next time you saw her, what would you say back?
Well, hold on. You're implying that he hasn't already said it.
I don't think he has.
Robbie?
We are very, very fond of one another, and we have shared that information.
Okay, yeah, he has. He doesn't he doesn't know how to control himself. He doesn't wait. He probably said it. Remember when he did a Thursday, Friday, Sunday? It probably happened in that
probably
span of 4 days. They couldn't even stop to say hi to you.
Yeah, they're in love. There's nothing wrong with that, Joe. So you go from the battlefield to dinner with lesbians?
Yes, that was later on in the
Yeah,
evening.
set that up, Robbie.
She has a coworker and a friend who happens to have a female who just is moving in with her, and we had dinner with those two.
Are they married?
They are not married. They're
Are
Virginia
they,
residents, so they would have to go to D.C. to get married.
Or Maryland?
That's right.
Did you talk about gay marriage?
Yes, we did.
Wow.
Did you really?
We did.
Very cliche, Robbie.
I didn't bring it up.
Did you give an opinion? And if you gave an opinion, did you give the one you think or whatever you felt like you had to say at that time?
I don't want to get political, but I was interested in what they thought about Obama, whether they thought it was politically motivated or whether he was very sincere.
That's interesting conversation. And what did they think?
Well, they thought that he was sincere. They thought he had more to lose than to gain by coming out and saying that.
What?
Yeah,
No, he doesn't.
I think that's a valid point.
Listen, the people that are against, well, okay, you're right. I don't want to go there either. Here's the real question I want to ask. Her friend, the friend she works with, is it the man or the woman in the relationship?
I would guess that her friend is the woman.
No, is one more clearly the woman than the other?
In my opinion, one is definitely more feminine than the other, but they're both pretty feminine.
Did one order for the other?
I don't think that happened. If it did, I didn't notice.
Pull the chair out?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
What kind of restaurant did you go to?
Went to the Bonefish.
Seafood?
Yes, we had seafood.
So they both ordered fish?
Were they able to control themselves, Robbie, and not run out in the middle of the meal to go have sex?
No, they couldn't control themselves at all.
Did the conversation of swapping come up?
No.
Because I think, Robbie, you could pull off a lesbian look.
You could, Robbie, if you got your hair nice and short and frosted.
Yeah.
Well, that is a question. What kind of haircuts are we talking? Do they have typical lesbian haircuts?
No, they both have like medium length. Not real long, but not very short either.
A lot of lesbians wear men's and boys' jeans. Do they have that where they show the waist size? Do they have that?
I don't think there was any of that going on.
Who paid for this meal?
My girlfriend and I did.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
She and I paid for the entire meal. We split it.
So you each paid for one lesbian.
Kind of, yes.
Did you pay for the male or the female lesbian?
We didn't make that distinction.
Okay.
What kind of
Did you
music do they listen to? Do they love Erasure and Kathy Griffin?
We really didn't get into music, surprisingly.
Did you have wine?
Yes.
Did you invite them back to your $75,000 palace?
And not immediately, we didn't, but eventually we thought we would get together again, yes, at my place.
Have you ever had lesbians in your social circle before?
Yes.
So you're
You
not...
have?
Yes.
When?
It's been some time, but back in college especially.
Okay. So...
I don't remember that. I mean, I know there's a lot of experimentation.
Again,
that
he
goes on in
says
college.
yes immediately, and then it was 30 years ago.
Well, I dated a girl once that she turned out
Back
to be a
when
lesbian.
he used to go to the National Gallery or wherever.
Wait a minute. You dated a girl that what?
I dated a girl that turned out to be a lesbian.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes.
Now
I
we're
forgot.
talking.
Yes. Yeah. I can't remember that girl's name. What was her name, Robbie? It doesn't matter. What was her name?
I'm not going to say her name.
Her first name?
Beth.
Was it Beth?
I should have known.
I want to know, Robbie, how do you feel? Did that emasculate you?
No, I actually was amused by it because I kind of guessed it.
Had you had sex?
We hadn't had intercourse.
Okay.
She was feeling her way around. She wasn't really quite sure what she was into. Then she got a load of what Robbie had. She said, you know what? That is not my thing. She went straight to the other side. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And that, she must really be a lesbian because you are the world's greatest lover.
Wait a minute. Her name wasn't Beth, was it? It wasn't. No. It was that girl that threw your keys into the river. What was her name? Wasn't it her?
No, that was a different person. She was not.
Robbie dated this girl, and they got into a fight, and she threw his keys like into the bay or something off the bridge. Or she tried to. What happened there, Robbie?
I'm trying to remember that story. I retrieved the keys. I remember that.
What'd you do? Go into the bay?
She was always having some drama over something, and she tossed my key so I couldn't drive away.
Joe, you and I probably don't know this, but guys that are really good lovers get this level of passion.
Oh, yeah, they get a little nuts.
Yeah, so Robbie has that, you know? They get a little crazy. It gets volatile.
Turn them gay. That's a whole different level.
Yeah, I've had 2 exes stalking me this week.
Who?
It's unbelievable.
I'm not going to get into it.
I could see where it wouldn't bother you in college. She's still young. She's still understanding who she is. But let's say a girlfriend you've had recently that's obviously adult and knows who they are suddenly became a lesbian right after you. Would that bother you?
What, that happened?
Well, she was a lesbian already.
You were in college, though. So.
Yes.
Well, that's different. Person doesn't really know who they are yet, maybe. Well, now you're some 45-year-old woman knows that she's been straight her whole life. Now she hooks up with Robbie. Now she's a lesbian. That wouldn't bother you?
I think I would know better this time, but it wouldn't bother me at all.
Well, that's what happened with Kelly McGillis. She just came out. She's like, I'm done with men. She's about that age, right? Maybe she's a little older.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe she hooked up with Robbie. I don't know.
Maybe once Robbie's gone, they're like, I'm never going to do better. And then they just go to women.
That's right.